Hello guys, I thought I'd come back. I'm off work, and normally I told you guys I take a nap and then I do overtime, but because I just switched positions, I'm still in training till tomorrow, so I can't work overtime since my boss has to check behind me. But I thank them because I just went over a year with this company because I was counseling full time, and last August I decided I wanted to come home and not counsel full time, and I got this position, and I got promoted by December and making more money, and I was just like, now see, that's a blessing, and that's what I wanted to talk about in a roundabout way, because I can get on 57,000 conversations at one time. But I'm so glad that that came back to memory. I want to say this. For most of you, oops, sorry, hitting my, I gotta go get my trash can. Trash day today. Most of you do know, okay, Deborah, you should have just not touched it. Tripod was doing just fine. Most of you all do know that YouTube is for entertainment, correct? That the majority, I'm going to say 95% of what you see on there is not true. It may have a trickle of truth, but for the most part, it's not true. People do what they do to entertain you, to get the money out of you. There's very few people that you meet that will honestly say they're not on YouTube for the money. I am one of those people. I don't live my life by money, greed, or anything like that, because I know from whom my help comes from. And I've never had him fail me when it comes to whatever my needs are. And he is so loving that he takes care of my needs and anything else that I think I might want to do. So when I say that, some people get too tied up into the YouTuber or the person providing the content to the point that they think that they know that person. Unless you know them in real life and you all hang out together and you're friends, or y'all live in the same neighborhood and you see each other, you know a little bit about them, you don't know who anybody is on YouTube. So the ideal of getting so personally caught up into somebody kind of amazes me. I say that to say that they don't understand me, and I know this. Parker, I'm trying to video here. Of course, you'll see the school bus go by. Heaven forbid, the children can't go home on the school bus without Parker. Thank you. You finished? So, as I was saying, they don't understand me because I do this for entertainment. Even if it's not entertaining anybody else, it entertains me. But hopefully in the process, it does entertain other people. I don't have nothing about nobody that I talk about on here. The point of me ever even opening my mouth about that YouTuber was the fact that God ain't no sugar baby. He ain't your ATM. And that's not why he created us. He created his creation to have someone to conversate and have a relationship with. That's why he wanted us here. Of course, we mucked it up right in the first chapter, but even in that, he still sent his son to save us so we could get it right. You will never ever hear me say that that God put you in my life to bless me, because if he did that, then I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't even know. People would just do that. Let me give you some examples of what a blessing is, and then you tell me what you've been hearing from that other person, if it's a blessing. Matter of fact, yesterday, because I don't know how I ended up on van life. I think I started with tiny homes. Somehow I rolled over into van life, and that's how I ended up where I'm at now. There's a guy that came through my feed yesterday. Was Winter is Blue? I think that's the name of him. Young African-American guy with dreads. And I was so mesmerized by his video. I just felt him being genuine for the most part. Like I said, people are on here to make money. But for the most part, I felt that him being honest, you know, nobody's totally honest. So when I say that, it's not 100%. But I watched his video, and he showed what a blessing was. He was, I don't even know where he was, but he was driving along, and the van he was in started to just cut off on him. And it was late in the day, like about 4:30, 4:45, something like that. And he didn't know what was going on, but it started on the highway, so he was very happy that he didn't get in an accident or somebody killed him. So he rolled off the exit, and so he put in the phone, you know, where's the nearest auto shop or whatever. So there was 2. So when he called, they both were saying they closed at 5. And so they were saying, one guy was like a mile down the street, and he was like, if you can get here before 5. So every time he started the car would go a little bit cut off, go a little bit cut off. So he called the guy back. He's like, hey, you know, I really need someone to look at my car today. If I get there, you know, after 5, will it be okay? So the guy told him to come on down, and he'd look at it. So he gets there. The guy looks at it, and he can't fix it. And then he tells him, he's like, you know, we're really an auto body shop. We're not really a garage to fix cars. He is like, but I tell you what, I have a friend that works on cars. We'll have him look at it tomorrow. In the meantime, I have a whole field in front of my house if you want to park your van there and spend the night, and we'll have him look at your van first thing in the morning. Now, of course, he's like all of us. Okay, I don't know this person. Who are you? You want me to park where? Because it was in the country like my house. Like I could have somebody park in the front yard there. You know, you don't really know the person, but the guy invited him in. He was able to take a shower and change his clothes. He prepared dinner for the 2 of them. I think they went someplace else, some little entertainment, and came back. And so the next day, his friend looked at the car. When he first, to make a long story short, the friend ended up being able to fix the van, and he was able to get back on the road. But when he was getting ready to leave after the guy fixed it, he was like, where is the nearest ATM or bank or something so that I can get you all money to pay you? And the guy said, no, that's okay. I got you. He was like, no. He was like, no. When I heard you on the phone and the sound of desperation that was coming through your voice, I knew that I was going to help you. He was like, God showed me to help you. The man was a Christian. He was so blessed. You see what I'm saying? He was a blessing to this young man because God had been a blessing to him. So the young man was able to get his van fixed, didn't have to pay anything, met 2 really nice people that I'm sure he'll probably keep in contact with on some level, and was able to have a good night's sleep and take a shower. Plus have a free meal. That is what you call a blessing. Blessings are when things happen that you know that you can't possibly do, but they still happen. Such as, people always like to use bills, but let's say your rent is due. And like now with the, like my sister live up north, so her husband had to take this week off. Well, he volunteered to take it off because of the strike with the car plants. But let's just say you all live a little bit above your means. It's time to pay rent, but you're on a layoff. You don't get all your full pay on a layoff. And like for him, since he volunteered, he has to get unemployment for a week. And we know unemployment is not going to pay you what you normally get paid. So let's say it's tight and you look up and you realize this strike has been going on for a couple of months and we're behind. We can't pay our bills. Having a family member call you and say, hey, oh my gosh, Parker's killing me with the buses. I was thinking about you guys today and I wanted to know how things were going, wondering if, you know, your husband was involved in the strike, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and I just felt led to send you all something. That's a blessing. Getting clothes from Temu, not a blessing, unless you're out here with no clothes. Having people in the YouTube streets and chats send you money because you beg for it, that's not a blessing. Begging for something is not a blessing. That's you begging and the people decide to give it to you. Manipulating people into giving you something, trying to look poorer than you are, or act like you have less than, so people will do for you, that's not a blessing. It's not. And that's how I ended up where I am now, talking to you guys. Because I knew what a blessing was. I knew, or I know, what God can do. So I do despise it when people act like he's a cash cow. And all they can ever talk about is how he's giving to them. Because my thing is, when are you giving to somebody else? Part of receiving is giving out. When do you give to somebody else? I've seen people who've had very little, and they were still able and wanting to share with other people the little bit that they have. Having a selfish heart is not from God. It's not. And that ain't actually what I got on here to say, but yeah, I was talking about blessing child. 61 is a trip, because I can start a conversation and right in the middle, I have no idea what I'm talking about. There was something I wanted to say. I knew I wanted to say that about the young man, but something, I was looking at some YouTubers today, and they were talking about bullying and all that. And I don't know, I just sat there and I was like, well, do the people think I'm a bully? Because I'm not. And I had to think about it. I do a lot of thinking. My mind never shuts off. So I thought about it, and this is what I do know. There are sectors of YouTube where the people beef back and forth. For the most part, they're not real beefs. What happens is people like drama. So the people beef back and forth because they know that the subscribers will go back from one person to the next, back and forth, to see what they're saying. And they're getting paid. And so that's what our YouTuber over there knew, Miss V. She knew that if she beefed with us, the trolls, that it would make our pages grow, because that's how she made hers grow. And I have to say, she was right, because I'm going to have to tell y'all, woohoo! I'm at 400 subscribers. Oh my gosh. I'm telling y'all, every day I am just surprised about this whole thing here. Because this is not what I planned on doing. And I mean, I did it for fun because I didn't have nothing else to do. And now I got 400 people that want to subscribe to this page and hear me talk about diddly squat. I'm just, yeah. People are entertained with drama. So I'm going to have to burst the bubble of probably 357 of y'all that came over here for the drama. There is no drama. I don't know her. I don't talk about how she looked. And I do talk about the hair. That wig was horrible yesterday. I'm gonna take that one. Yeah. I don't talk about her body. I don't talk about her feet, her hands, her goiter, her eye. I don't talk about all that because that's just physical stuff. I could care less about what you look like on the outside. I'm talking about the content of your heart. And you can always see the content of somebody's heart if you look closely. And for some people, the content of their heart is not pure. Money and greed will make you do a lot of things. And people will say, well, I'd never sell my body, or I'd never steal. But you might get on YouTube and tell lies because that gets the money coming in. $1 can make a person do a whole lot of things when they never had. I don't know if you all ever had a friend or met a person that came from lack. There's a lot of character traits or behavioral traits that people who come from that didn't have a lot when they were younger than they may have. And those are the things that I look at when I watch people on YouTube. I look at their behavioral traits. It fascinates me. Like the ones who want to eat, how are you eating? Are you eating like you hadn't had a meal today? Or are you having a nice conversation and eating? The ones who do the buying stuff are influencers, as they call themselves. Are you influencing people to do something good? Are you influencing them to do something bad? My thing is, if somebody's influencing you to go buy $350 perfume and you know that you only make $15 an hour, ma'am, that ain't who you need to be following. Or if all they're buying is designer clothes, as if, I don't know, where is it going to take you? It'll take you the same place that a Walmart outfit will take you. Sure will. To be honest, people who are wealthy do not shop designer clothes. And most of them drive a Ford. Yep, I don't know if you knew that. I told you I'm full of little tidbits of information. So my thing is, what are you influencing the people to do out here? My channel, I really wanted it to be an influence of positivity. And that's because when I got in my 50s, I decided that for the rest of the years that I was here on this earth, I wanted to be the best version of myself that I could possibly be as close to the version that God had created or said that I was. And in that, sometimes I do have righteous indignation. I do. Especially when it comes to people, not telling the truth or just trying to manipulate others. I cannot, oh my gosh, this dog. Parker. There's a lady, can't remember, I meant to write her name down. I want to say the last part is Joan or something. But she came to the chat and she said that I was petty and that I must be jealous of Miss V because of what I said. And I was thinking, I could not have said anything as bad as what I've heard her say. And then she even, I think I'm pretty nice when I say something back to people who try to tell me who I am. I don't get ugly with them. But then she hit me back up and said, there's nothing against me. I don't take it as against me. You don't know me. All you know is what I do on this YouTube. That's it. Or anything I may tell you that I choose to share with you. But you don't know me. So to say that I'm petty, I'm sure I am sometimes. Jealous? Nah. I don't have anything to be jealous about. I don't even look at people like that. If you have more than me, great. If you have less than me, how can I help you? And somebody said that we should help Miss V because she has less than. Ma'am, she probably got mattresses stuffed with money over there, and you talking about less than. As much as she beg, please. Who knows what she got? And you sitting here taking your Social Security check or whatever, your retirement check, and giving it to her, and you having less than. I'm not. I will not. Because she just lied the other day when she did the unboxing. She had the nerve to say she had 50 gifts. Well, if she had 50 gifts, I must have missed at least 42 of them. I don't know. But the exaggeration, the overextension of everything she does. And I guess, you know what, if I was really, really honest with you guys, I think she makes me mad also because people call it, I don't know if I'm saying the word right, I don't think that's the word. Let me not mess it up. I don't know if people that watch me are old enough to know, like Amos and Andy and some of the old movies when they first let African Americans be in the movies, and it would be the guy that tap danced up and down the stairs, or the maid with the hat on, but she would be a big, heavy-set, dark-skinned woman. Buffoonery. Somebody tell me if I'm saying that right. I don't think so. But that's what it kind of reminds me of. That you get on YouTube and do stuff that makes you look really bad so that people will buy into what you tell them. And some would say, oh, that's smart. No, it's not. Who takes you seriously? When I see you literally get on YouTube with a wig on that you didn't pull all the way down, you let your edges hang out, but you're a cosmetologist, that says to me either one, you're slow, or two, you did it on purpose because you wanted somebody to say something. It is the attention grabbing stuff that gets me. My thing is, what's wrong with being yourself? Do you have to get on there and slurp and burp and spit food out and all that? Because I see other people do mukbangs. Not that I like them, but I have watched because they actually came from overseas and they don't do that. And so my thing is, for you to do it, why is everything you do over exaggerated? I need to be honest on that. I don't like that because you know why? To me, it makes us look culturally stupid. Okay, it does. And some may not agree with me on that, but it's not a comedy show because you never get on there saying that you're really trying to be comedic. So it's just you getting on there making people believe that that's who you are. And I don't know. I'm not the tail, I'm the head. So I'm never going to act like I'm walking around wagging. All right, peeps. I think this is going to be it for today. Hopefully I ain't talked too long. And thank you for the 400 subscribers. I'm trying to think. If we get up to 500, what should I do? I don't know how. If somebody knows, how can I tell like who would be the 500th person? Or like how could I tell who was the 400th or the 300th or the 200th or the 100th person? You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to do something, I was trying to figure out how I could tell, and I don't know, maybe you can't, how people subscribe. But yeah, I would have liked to have known who was the 400 and the 300 and definitely the 500 because I wanted to just do something. Give back to the community. So if you know how I can tell by that, then let me know. If not, then I'll just look in the thing where it has comments and it says somebody subscribed. I'll just see who the last person was. All right, that's it. And again, thank you. Bye.